What's up, y'all? This is Brave, and I'm back with another review of Toya and Reginae. This is season 2, episode 2, and let's get right into it. So, we are still at the park. We're waiting for Walter to show up because this is his welcome home party, and Casey is there. So, you already know that Toya is going to be on edge because her and Casey are not seeing eye to eye at this point. Now, I will say that it was cool to see that they kind of put their feelings to the side and gave each other a hug. However, here come Toya mama being extra. Baby, she been extra since she got to the park. Again, I don't know if she just been drinking or if Miss Mama's done went back to dope. I don't know which one it is. But she being real extra. Toya don't like it. And it gets to the point where Toya is so overwhelmed because she has a conversation, I think it was with Beatty. And Beatty's like, that's just who our mama is. That's who she is. And Toya's like, I don't understand how you could just say, that's just who she is so casually. Now, Beatty said something in the confessional that kind of stood out to me. Because she was like, my mama was on drugs basically all of my, young life. So I'm used to it. But Toya, she sees it differently. And she has a different perspective. But the way she, phrased it, y'all, it made it seem like Beatty was raised by Nita, but Toya wasn't. So I'm just trying to go back in the past because I can't fully remember. Was Toya raised by Anita or was she, raised by her dad or something? I'm just a little bit confused as to why it seems like these kids had a total different upbringing than Toya. I don't know if when Toya got pregnant with Reginae, she moved in with his family, and since he was going up and up and up, she just kind of rode that wave or something. There's just such of a disconnect. I'm just so confused. We all know that Toya mama was in the streets back in the day, but I'm just trying to understand, how is it that the rest of them act one way versus how she acts? And I know that she has been in a situation that's very unique to the family, to where she has a baby daddy that has money and all the things. But I'm just when she got with Wayne at that young age, did she just move in with him or something? I'm just trying to understand. Y'all, if y'all got some tea or y'all know what was going on with that family dynamic back in the day, drop down in the comments and let me know. Moving on from that, at this point, Toya, she runs over to Red, and she telling him how she want to go home. And he's like, no, we got to wait till your brother get here. Now, one thing that I will say that I love about Red is that he loves him some Toya, but he's also able to, nurture her, keep her grounded. Red is really a solid dude. So Walter shows up. Everybody's super happy about it. And him and Toya kind of have a moment because she's going on telling him how, over the past couple of weeks, they've been able to really talk to each other, have an understanding, and she feels like she needs him to be around because he can kind of help her with getting his family in order, okay? Now, keep in mind, while she's giving her speech, and I mean, it's really an emotional speech that she's giving, the whole time, Nita is right there. Just, yeah, Toya, because we love you, Toya. Da-da-da-da. Just talking. And I'm just yo, can we please get this lady some help, okay? Now, after this beautiful moment between Walter and Toya, Beatty is feeling some type of way. Because she no, I thought we was closer to that. I thought me and Toya was good. And it's sweetheart, you are still so young-minded, and it shows. What I need for her to realize is that the family, yes, y'all get together, y'all may have a good time, but there are so many more elements that have transpired that, yeah, Toya definitely needs some backup. Because Casey blowing up on her all the time, your mama up in here acting a fool, yeah, girl, she needs some backup. Especially considering, what's his name, Casey, that sat up here and told her that it was her fault that the brothers got murdered. I'm never gonna forgive him for that. Sweetheart, scoot back a little bit and let the adults handle the adult situations. Beanie, you cool, but just relax a little bit. This is not something for you to feel some type of way about. Now, moving on from her, we actually see Toya and Walter talk again. And I mean, Toya is so emotional because this really affects her, the way her family is, especially her mother. And he's, he break it down as well. But it seems like they're trying to get on the same page as far as how to navigate this family. Because then Walter ends up bringing up her and Casey's situation. And again, Walter feels like he can be the savior to save Casey. We shall see. Now, moving on to Casey, baby, we find out he have a whole 13-year-old son. And he don't even really be in his son's life like that. Well, sir, what are you doing? Because last time I checked, you were trying to be a rapper, and baby, it ain't moving. Ain't nothing moving over there. So what do you be doing all day? Like, I'm sorry. There's no way you can tell me that you love your son so much and you hardly spend any time with him. Sir, do better. And then for him to sit up there and try to coach his child into saying that, oh, ask your mom if you could come with me tomorrow or whatever. And he's like, ain't no point in doing that because she ain't gonna go for it. That lets me know, sir, that she don't trust you as a parent. She don't know where you gonna be having her child. So no, your child will not be going with you. So that sounds like it's a you problem. And you need to go prove it to her that you know how to be a parent. Now, keep that in mind because later on, we actually see that she's about to leave the park, right? And Casey's like, oh, there she go right there. So Walt is like, oh, wait, hold on. He wants to talk to you. Baby, she said, oh, I'm not doing that. And went on ahead and took her child right on about that park because they was going home. I said, oh, Casey, something's going on here and you not telling the full story as to why she won't allow you to be around that child without her being present and why she don't want to talk to you. Like, we could clearly see that you moved on to another relationship, but there's something not being said. Also, the next thing we saw was that Walter has a conversation with Casey. And it's crazy to me that Casey's reasoning as to why he acted a fool in New Orleans is that he caught an ep. He was having a whole episode. And it's like, dude, that does not justify your behaviors at all. And Walter, I will say this. At first I was questioning why you keep saying how your situation is going to, help Casey. But I do understand that you have a way of talking to your brother so that he understands. And also at the same time, like, you are absolutely taking like that leadership role as the big brother. And I kind of like it. Like, I actually like the fact that Walter's home. Not that I wanted him in jail, but I'm just saying, like, the way he's coming home and handling this situation, I respect it. Now, moving on, we gotta switch on over to Reginae. She's in LA doing LA things. And she's actually meeting up with this really big Hollywood producer. He's worked on Martin, and I believe he said that his daughter works on the Proud Family. So this is definitely a good connection for her to make. I think she said her agent set this up. And Reginae, one thing I will say is that you are on your job. You are trying to really do this LA thing, and it's hard. You know what I'm saying? Because there are so many people who want to be actors here. But I will say, seeing this little scene that she did, I said, okay, Reginae, I see what you're trying to do here. I will say this. I do like the fact that she said that she wants to work on, like, her facial expressions and, really getting her acting bag. And honestly, I cannot hate that because how many times have we seen people just book roles? And I mean, especially if you watch Tubi, but sometimes you'll see somebody book a role and you'll be like, girl, ain't you supposed to be scared? Why you don't look scared? So I'm all here for this. Now, moving on, y'all, we see Red and Toya at the gym, right? Because he owns the gym. She ends up mentioning how they need to get a bigger space. And it's very clear he does not want to get a bigger space, okay? Now, her homegirls is supposed to come over and work out. He ask the question, oh, is Danielle gonna be here? Is she actually gonna show up? And she like, yeah, she said she coming. Baby, Danielle showed up already with a green tea in hand. And he's like, first of all, you can't have that in here. And secondly, you got all the sweeteners in here. You basically drinking Kool-Aid, okay? He ends up throwing her drink away. I'm just like, girl, why'd you bring that up in here? At least pour it in the water bottle so that way he think you drinking water. So the ladies end up working out. And even Rashida is there, y'all. We don't like Rashida over here, but if you like her, nonetheless. So they start having this conversation about how, they're going to need a bigger gym or whatever because they're going to quickly outgrow this space. And again, Red don't want to hear it. So he ends up leaving. And they talk about how Walter, he's home now. And also how her mama showed up acting a fool. And baby, one thing about Toya, she's going to block you. Okay? So now her mom has been blocked for about a week because she was pissed off at how she was acting. Now, it has not been officially said if her mom was just drunk or if she back on that stuff. We don't know. But moving on from that scene, because honestly, the rest of that conversation, it wasn't too interesting. We see Beatty, she's on a date with her girlfriend, Mel, or whatever. And here's the thing, Mel is still kind of feeling some type of way because of everything that went down with the family. Okay, she feels like Beatty didn't protect her, she didn't stick up for her, but Beatty says that in that moment, she did not know what to do. She did not know what to say, but, it seems like moving forward, she would definitely try to protect her girlfriend. When it comes to Mel and versus Toya, I feel like we are absolutely going to see them clash again. But at the end of the day, Toya, yes, you want to protect your sister's heart. But if that's who your sister want to be with, it just kind of is what it is. Now, moving on, we actually see Toya, she meets up with her manager at like this big empty space. And he's like, all right, this look kind of like it could be a gym. What's going on here? And she basically tells him how she spoke with the lady who owns the building and how they let her know that there's this new open space. And if they wanted to be the people that move in because they know that this place used to be a gym, so it'll be like a good transition for Toya and Red to move over here. Now, the man says that this is about 3 times the size of the gym that they have. However, Toya is like, listen, we can really build this thing out and it can be good for us. However, she wants to just go ahead and sign paperwork without talking to Red. No, Toya, that is a big no. So he even tells her, like, nah, you got to talk to him about it because he might be pretty upset if you just go ahead and sign paperwork and he don't even want to move his gym. Now, one thing that I will say is that Red may be very stubborn, but it may be that he doesn't want to make this type of financial decision right now because if this place is 3 times the size of the building that he's in, he's going to have to get more equipment, more and more and more. But also, I do understand where Toya is saying, like, listen, this can be lucrative for us because right now it just looks like one big open space. But I mean, if you added all the equipment back, maybe build up like some rooms, you can have a space to have like different classes and it can really be a thing. I can see the vision, Toya, but talk to your man about it. Now, moving on from that, we see Reginae. She is in LA and she sees her dad. I don't think we saw Wayne last season, but he's here now. And they talk about the fact that, her mom has come to LA to check on her and her spending. And Wayne know that his daughter spend money just like he do. And, just trying to help her navigate what her life looks like in LA. Now, not Toya, Reginae does say that she does spend a lot more time with her dad because she's in LA. which that's cool because we all know that she is definitely a daddy's girl. Now, one thing that they talked about is her taking her acting serious and how she definitely needs to make a decision if she wants to move back to Atlanta or if she wants to stay in LA. Now, I will say that there is a lot of work coming to Atlanta, and it's been in Atlanta, just because there's a lot of acting opportunities that are leaving California and going other places. So, girl, you may have a better chance, booking some roles in Atlanta. But nonetheless, Wayne is fully supporting her as long as she's happy. And honestly, it's quite cool to see, a black father really supporting his child, especially his daughter. But moving on from that, we see Toya, she is at a park, but then we also see a text conversation where she basically tells her manager that she signed the lease for the building and Red don't know. Maybe that's gonna come back and bite her in the ass. But we also go back to the park scene and we see her talking to her niece. And I'm just like, oh my gosh. So glad to see her back on the show. I believe she has already done probably like her first semester in college probably by the time they got around to filming this season. So good for her. And next thing you know, Reginae shows up. So basically, Toya asks Reginae has she made her decision if she's going to come back to Atlanta. But Reginae says all that she knows is that she going to move out of her place when the lease is up. But baby, she didn't get that far in her thinking process as to where she about to leave. Okay? Now, Toya got to update her on what happened at Walter's party. Now, of course, she brings up the way that her mom was acting and how, she does empathize with her mom. But at the same time, she just wants her mom to get better and do better. Now, Reginae actually brings up a point that is very, very valid. She says that, sometimes I think y'all forget that she is y'all mama. And what she means by that is, as the parent, technically, there are things that she's not going to show her child. And that is very, very true. Some parents, they're not 100% transparent with their children because at the end of the day, they're still supposed to be seen as this person who kind of has it together, even though we can see right now that Nina is spiraling, okay? And she definitely needs some help. And I want them to actually get some professional help, okay? Not just the family, but because they have this idea that, by talking to each other, they can help each other. And I absolutely agree that can help for sure. But with the amount of trauma that this family has been through, they definitely need some professional help. So then they go on to talk about what happened at the event in New Orleans. And Toya basically explains that maybe that's not even like my main issue as to what exactly happened with the float and all of that. That was just kind of like what is it called? The straw that broke the camel's back? Because it's everything when it comes to Casey. That man is really going through something and they don't have the proper tools to handle whatever he going through, okay? And I'm with Reginae. Baby, you're not about to keep stressing my mama out, okay? I get it. That's your sister and all, but you're not about to keep stressing my mama out. You hear me? Like, Toya got enough going on. She don't need to add Casey to the plate. Now, we're going to go ahead and move on because we about to have a little family dinner, but there are some people missing, okay? Beatty, she decides that she's going to have the family meet up with Mel, and we have Casey and Walter there. Oh, and her mama, but guess who ain't there? Reginae or Toya, because the last time I met up with Mel, it was about to be a fight, okay? Now, everybody embraces Mel in this moment. Like, Walter, he just want to get down to the bottom of, like, what actually happened between, her and Toya. And basically, he's like, from what I've heard, it sounds like, she felt like you were kind of, influencing Beatty, so to say. And it didn't help that Beatty never said anything, okay? Because it just made it seem like whatever you said went, and that's definitely the vibe. And Walter was like, the thing about Beanie is that she can be very quiet. And if you're not speaking up, people are going to assume. So Walter is like, so when you gonna tell your sister that you back with your girlfriend? And according to Beanie, she's gonna tell her, as long as it's a respectful conversation and Toya don't treat her like a little girl. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, Beanie is definitely an adult and wants to be treated as such. Now here go Casey talking about some, well, don't worry because, I'm on the outs with her as well. Sir, it's because you acted a fool. Like, stop acting like Toya did something to you and you are not the problem. But baby, one thing about Walter, he gonna get down to the nitty and the gritty because he's asking Nina, like, girl, why was you acting like that at that party though? And baby, this right here is where all them kids get it from. No accountability, baby. She said she don't think that she did wrong. He said, oh, you don't think? She said, oh, no, I know I didn't do nothing wrong. I said, oh, Anita, you are the problem. And Casey, I see where you get it from. Now, y'all, let's go ahead and wrap this on up and get to this last scene. Because, Toya, you was wrong, baby. You was wrong. So she ends up walking with Red around the area where the gym is to take him over to the new place that she done bought, right? So he walks in and he's like, oh yeah, this used to be a gym or whatever. And then she's like, surprise. He's like, what you mean surprise? She's like, yeah, I have to hurry up and get a lease for this place. And he's like, wait, you signed a lease? And she is, operating from a space of, oh my gosh, we can do all these things in here. And he's like, girl, no, I told you that we're not ready to move into a larger space. And then he goes on to let her know that he feels some type of way because this was a big decision that she made. He's like, yeah, I may handle some things in the gym that's operational that doesn't need like a big discussion by myself, but I don't make any big decisions without you. I mean, baby, Red was big mad, okay? We was about to see why they called him Red, because he was real quick to walk on out, slam a door, and Toya, like, cut the cameras off. Now, here's the thing. Yeah, I'm definitely on Red's side when it comes to Toya just making an impulse decision, and she should have listened to him, considering he has told her no multiple times. If he's telling you no multiple times, that means that there may be some money issues that's going on, or, he may not have enough membership for him to, feel like the business will be successful in a bigger space right now. He has his reasons. Maybe you should ask him why he doesn't feel like it's necessary for them to move on to a larger space. Toya, you got to have these conversations with your man. But y'all, that was the episode. Let me know what y'all thought about it. Go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. And I will talk to y'all in my next video. Bye, guys.